Hello there, guys, girls, gamers, everyone! It's me, GenuineParts, and we're back in If My Heart Had Wings. And if you're confused by my not changing outfit for the last 3 episodes, it's all recorded on the same day, don't worry. I'm not wearing the same stuff every time I record. Essentially, I always had a good backlog from videos, at least for once a week, for a whole week. So if I don't know, fell sick or just hadn't had any time to record, I could go on a week without recording and it would be fine. Now it happened that I had a weekend where there were construction work going on in my apartment because a pipe broke in the floor and they had to rip all the floor out and open up the walls, and it was pretty loud and obnoxious, and you can't essentially record. And that took the whole weekend, so I was not able to record a week's episodes and stuff. So I lost my backlog, and before I could rebuild it, it happened that I had a weekend where I spent a lot of time with my family, and GTA 5 came out, and that took a bunch of my time, and so I wasn't able to rebuild my backlog, but this weekend I can do that, and so I'm rebuilding the backlog, so I'm recording 4 episodes, and I'm still hitting my microphone. I don't think this will ever stop. So I'm rebuilding my backlog, and that's why I'm recording 4 episodes this weekend, just for a little explanation. And so we gave Kotori a bath the last time, which I can only assume would work out differently if it was the uncensored version. What exactly would have transpired? It's up to the viewer's mind. Anyway, let's continue on. She looked pretty embarrassed. Well, it was nothing. I stopped myself from saying something like that's another one for the doormother's chops. The reason why I did that just now was not because I'm the doormother. I didn't know how to answer, and Kotori left me behind and went back to her room. Moshi moshi. How do I see that? How am I aware of these things that happen just right now? Am I listening at the door? Extend the little wings that fly in the sky, highly, 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 highly. That almost seemed like, you know, the end. Oh, maybe the ending of an act is always this little wings. It went that way! Leave it to me! Oh, I didn't need to read the first one. At a Gea signal, I ran ahead to block the cat's escape route. A tortoise-shelled cat. Tortoise-shell cat? Again, I blocked the stray cat's path and it searched for a third route. And there was... There was Kotori, as she had made an almost sickening, cheerful smile. Oh man, I don't know if Kotori is really creepy when she's so cheerful. Now that's how to talk to a cat. Kotori dangles an anchovy which captivates the cat. The voice acting of the cat and the duck are just phenomenal. However, as expected of a stray cat, it won't let its guard down easily. Okay. Kotori nods and takes out the small fishing rod. An anchovy hangs on the end of the line. Wow, this is like an elaborate setup if I ever saw one. Look! Oh, what the heck is going on? I'm 5 minutes into this recording and I have no idea what's going on. Dangle, 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 dangle. That cat. Just like a blessing descending from heaven, the anchovy draws the stray cat's attention. With Kotori's skillful waving of the rod, she was almost literally reeling the cat towards her with the anchovy. It's not a cat, it's a dog! Just as the cat reaches out its paw, Kotori times the pulling away of the anchovy so that the cat cannot reach it. It really was a little bit mean. Eventually, the cat, running out of patience, used its last resort. How do you get someone to voice a cat in the studio? Do you give him the lines? Meow, 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 meow. And, wow, I cannot, yeah. Jump. The cat jumped onto Kotori's lap all by itself. What? What are you doing, human? Leave me alone! Amazingly, the cat settled into Kotori's arms. I thought you were looking for club members. I can't believe it fell for such a stupid plan. I felt like saying, come on, stray cat, you can do better than that. Kotori shows a side that we'd never seen before and smiles affectionately wide while stroking the cat. The cat seems like he didn't really enjoy being stroked, but he's focused on a large amount of anchovies nearby, so it looks like she's not planning on running away. Could we see a picture of the tortoise shell cat? I have to look that up now. Agea starts stroking him too. All girls like cats. I do like cats too. Am I a girl now? Come on. Is it okay if I stroke him too? Well, maybe not. Okay. What the heck is going on? But I like cats too. Oh, you're a girl too then? This seems a bit unfair. Next is... I open a notebook to check. Things I want to do. It's the list of bullet points that Kotori has written in her notebook. First of all, we are now in the middle of clearing Kotori's list of things she still has left to do. As Agea and I looked at the notebook, Kotori looks at us sideways, but not with suspicion. How does this situation occur? Yeah, that would be quite nice to be explained. To answer that, we need to go back to this morning. This morning, I was in two minds as to whether or not I should return the withdrawal notice that I picked up to its rightful owner. Of course, you should give dropped items back to the owner, but if I did that, it seems that she would have disappeared from here, so I didn't give it back. If that's what she wants to do, I have no reason to stop her, but I was hesitant for some reason. So I was walking back and forth along the hallway, but Kotori, who was wearing her uniform, poked her head out from the room. She was furtively checking the situation outside. As our eyes meet, she slams the door shut. Why is she acting so suspiciously? Kotori is always doing something suspicious, but here There is definitely something behind her behavior just now. I concealed myself in the dining hall for a while. I wait 10 minutes. Hat appears from the little door at the bottom of Kotori's bedroom door. Hat took a look around the entranceway, then came back into the dining hall.
What?
Shh. Hat goes back to Kotori's room.
誰もいなかった？
Hey,
よし。
I don't think he's... What does she mean by alright? Kotori came sneaking out of her room. She took a peek into the dining hall just in case, and I hide behind the counter.
いないみたいね。あいつに見つかったらうるさそうだもん。
Okay. When she says that guy, it feels like she's talking about me. Kotori is wearing her uniform, but she isn't carrying her bag. At the entranceway, she opens up her notebook and looks inside. I sneaked up behind her.
これは前にやったから、今日は。
Are you going to skip school again today? Kotori jumped, let out a scream, and threw the notebook.
どうしているの？ちゃんと確認したのに。
That's why you should stop sending a duck to scout for you. As I pick up the notebook that she dropped, I took a look at the open page. Things I want to do. This is the page I saw before.
返して、私のノート。
Could it be that you're planning to do all of this before you quit school? Seems like I was spot on.
やり残しを今日で全部終わらせるの？もういいでしょ？返して。
I handed back the notebook. Then I follow Kotori as she's about to leave.
なんでついてくるの？
I'm going to help.
は？なんで？
It must be tough by yourself, right? Kotori looks at me like I'm an idiot. While we stop in front of the doorbell rings. Who could it be at this time?
おはようございます。
The whirlwind. Yeah.
およ？お二人さんお揃い
What did you come here for?
で。いや、ほらさ。
Agea pulls me towards her and whispers into my ear.
昨日変な感じだったし、そろそろまたサボるんじゃないかって思って。
So she came all the way here to ask Kotori to go to school with her? Bullseye.
マジっすか？
Yeah, the truth is that... How should I explain this? Kotori, I'm gonna borrow your notebook. I go back to Kotori and take the notebook.
こら！
Using that, I explained the situation to Agea. I explained that today she wants to finish the things I want to-do list that is written on her in this notebook. I don't tell her that about Kotori's plan to quit school.
これは大仕事だね。
Agea groans a little as she looks at the list.
そうよ。だから今日は学校休むから。そうするしかないよね。私も手伝うよ。
Okay, so we got here. This is how Agea and I ended up going with Kotori against her wishes to clear the things remaining on the list one by one. By the way, as far as us urgently searching for members for the club goes, last night we came up with a possible prospect. That's why we're going with Kotori.
もういいから、あなたたちは学校行きなさいよ。
Said Kotori while stroking the cat, but we don't listen.
じゃあ次は伊藤さんとこのペディグリーだね。
Okay. Agea pointed and read. Stroke the head of the big dog in the neighborhood. It's really scary, but it might be unexpectedly friendly. If possible, I'd like to ride around on its back. From the list. The Ito family are rich and have a well-known and very large dog called Pedigree that roams around freely in their garden. When we were like kids, it was rare to see such big dogs, and we would often watch him lumbering around the spacious lawn. If it was a dog already, a big dog when you were kids, it's a very, very old dog right now. I'd like to ride around on its back. So far, I have lifted Kotori up on 2 occasions. Both times she was light as a feather. Well, perhaps that's exaggerating lightly, but she was really light.
ハバネさんならギリギリいけるかもね。なんた
If
って
it's
セ
Kotori,
ン
she
トバー
should
ナードだも
be
ん。
just about able to do it. He's a Saint Bernard after all, but he's old. When you were kids, that's like 10 years. Pedigree is a Saint Bernard. They're pretty huge. Well, seriously considering Kotori's silly idea, we headed towards the Ito's house. Said Agea as she put the package down on the grass.
でもここは風があって気持ちいいね。
Today is dry and sunny, and the temperature isn't that high. It's quite hot in the sunlight, but there's a nice breeze. Here, I throw a sports drinks to Agea.
お、サンキュー。
There's one for you too, Kotori. I take some orange juice from the convenience store bag and pass it to Kotori.
ありがとう。
Do you want to sit down here?
えっと
Agea, give me a hand, would you? Agea, who looks like she's enjoying her sports drinks, gets up and comes over.
何するの？
I want to put you down here.
いいって。おお、そうだね。
I'll leave lifting up Kotori to Agea and tell her how to do it while I give her a hand from the side.
よいしょっと。はあ、ありがとう。
Kotori sits down on the grass and looks comfortable as she stretches back. I not speak good.
お尻が蒸れた。
It seems that wheelchairs can get quite hot in the summer.
さあ、
Okay,
お
time
弁
for
当
the
お弁
lunch
当。
boxes. The time is now 12:30. It's exactly time for lunch break. We spread out the lunch boxes that we brought, and the juice and snacks were bought from the convenience store. We don't have a sheet, but it feels like we're having a picnic.
いただきます。いただきます。
I had mine and Kotori's lunch boxes, and Agea had brought her own. So we are skipping school altogether, are we?
ほう、ハバネさんハンバーグだ。ねえねえ、春巻きと交換しよ
Trading foods?
う。いいけど。
She doesn't sound too ecstatic. Agea looks like she's enjoying the burger that she got by trading as she wolfs it down.
葵、料理上手だよね。うん、女として自信なくすわ。
Your mom's good at cooking though, isn't she?
いやいや、現役主婦と比べなさんな。
What's wrong now, Kotori? Kotori's face seemed to say that she wasn't really suited to the situation as she quietly ate her lunch. However, she didn't look as irritated as she was before. Agea either hadn't noticed or was pretending not to have noticed and carried on behaving the same way she always does.
私、学校サボったの初めて。今まで休みたいって思ったの、注射の日くらいだったからさ。
Aww, you are scared of little pricks.
でもこうやって友達と遊ぶなら、たまにはいいかも。
Well, don't you need an excuse, a reason for not coming to school? Well, I couldn't skip school until I was 18, and I was in a boarding school, so if you skipped school, someone was looking over you. If you really was sick, you couldn't just go out and not go to school. And before that, you always needed an explanation from your parents why you're skipping school. said Agia playfully. She seems quite excited about skipping school for the first time. If your mom's gonna find out, she's totally kick your ass. Agia's mother doesn't hold back when she gives her daughters a kick in the ass. I've been kicked too, many times, like when Agia and I got caught playing tricks. Those kicks are big, heavy, and painful.
言っちゃダメだからね。
Okay, got it. She'd kick me too for something like this. I say that, but I don't want her to worry unnecessarily.
ねえ、次は何？
We all look at the notebook. Did we write the dog? We managed to finish 5 of them this morning. As for pedigree, the eaters recognized the gear and they led us into the garden. We weren't able to have her the ride on her back, but Kotori gave Pedigree a hug, so we counted that as a success. In the end, it was quite tough for her to roll around and play with him. Pedigree probably weighs more than Kotori. On top of that, he licked her all over the face, and she looked like she was full of emotion.
カフェフラックスに行く。
Agea reads out from the list. Where's that?
あれだよ、ウィンディにある。それはもういいの。
Okay. Kotori, who had suddenly gone red, drew a line through that entry with a red pen. Agea whispers into her ear.
誰か一緒に行きたい人いるの？違う、ただの勘違い。
Okay. Huh? Something was said in Kotori, and now she's desperately trying to cover something up. What could it be?
ちょっと大人な雰囲気のカフェだよ。有名なパティシエがプロデュースした店で、スイーツが美味しいんだって。
Do you want to go there?
だから違うって、勘違いなの。学校で誰かが話してるのを聞いて、美味しそうだなって思っただけで。
Well.
そういう場所とは知らなかったのよ。
That kind of place? It's just not a normal cafe?
カップル客をターゲットにしてて、店にはそういうお客さんがうじゃうじゃ。
Okay. So, we will resolve this issue in the next episode. And I thank you so much for watching. Best regards from the parts. I will see you in the next episode. Bye bye.